You know, it's funny. It's just June. There's no pads, no real contact. And yet, this minicamp felt like a moment. This Chargers minicamp actually told us a lot. This video's not just a recap. I'm diving into everything that stood out, what it really means, and where the Chargers are heading in 2025. Let's break it all down. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. Let's start with the vibes. Rashawn Slater showing up to minicamp during contract negotiations was a tone setter. You don't always see that. And when your Pro Bowl left tackle is not only present but standing at the podium saying he trusts the process, it just tells you where this team is at from a leadership standpoint. Slater's been through the up and down of this franchise. Him being calm, confident, not worried, it matters. It stabilizes everything up front, and it's not just him. Across the board, guys are locked in. From what we saw and heard, this wasn't a lazy walk through minicamp. This was about sending a message. Whether it's Derwin James looking like he's in mid-season form already, or Justin Herbert back commanding the offense, you can tell they're not just easing in. And you could feel that urgency in how the coaches talked too. Whether it was Jim Harbaugh, Greg Roman, or Jesse Minter, everyone sounded like they already had a vision for where this is going. And since we're talking offense, let's talk about the weapons. Because let's be honest, this has been the elephant in the room since the end of last season. This team just didn't have the right guys around Herbert. Too many injuries, too much money locked in at the top, not enough depth. That has changed. You've got guys like Rhonda Gadsden, who, let's be real, is making a legit push to take over that TE1 role. He's not just flashing in practice. He's getting work with the starters. He's catching everything. He's getting praise from Harbaugh, from Herbert, from the media. And we're only in June. That doesn't happen unless he's turning heads. And look, the tight end room itself isn't just about him. You've got Tyler Conklin, you've got Will Dissly, who's still a capable piece. Tucker Fisk is in there too. But Gadsden is the guy people are buzzing about. Harbaugh mentioned during the draft that he had a vision for Gadsden, and so far, that's holding up. Now, the wide receiver group, this thing looks deeper and more competitive than it's been in a while. Trey Harris is showing out. Quentin Johnston, who took a ton of heat last year, is reportedly improving. Ladd McConkey is involved. Mike Williams is back in the mix. Brendan Rice has made some tough catches. Even Jalen Rager got reps with the starters during minicamp. It's not just names, it's actual competition. You had guys making contested catches all over. Gadsden, Harris, McConkey, Johnston, they're going up and getting it. And for an offense that's lacked that killer instinct over the middle and downfield, that's huge. You can already see the difference in how Herbert is distributing the ball. He's trusting his guys. And it feels like for once, he's not throwing to guys pulled off the practice squad on third and long. And speaking of Herbert, the man himself addressed the leg sleeve. People were speculating, wondering if it was another injury. He shut that down fast, said he's just keeping his leg warm, and honestly, you can tell. He's not trying to make a story out of it. He's tired of the injuries, tired of the narratives. He's just trying to stay healthy, stay sharp, and do his job. Now, about the offensive line, that's one of the most important pieces of this entire puzzle. Right now, it looks like they're leaning toward Zion Johnson playing center and Bradley Bozeman taking left guard. No Andre James with the starters yet, but Harbaugh made it clear. They'll know what the final group looks like about 8 to 10 days into training camp. That's when the real decision happens. And I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to run it back with the same 5 we saw last year. That combination didn't work. The pass protection wasn't consistent. The run game was non-existent on the right side. That's why they brought in Mekhi Becton. Harbaugh even said it on Pat McAfee's show. We're going to be a right-handed team. That tells you everything. They're flipping the script. Historically, the Chargers' run game has been soft on the right side. Now, it might be a strength, and if they get Zion to actually make this center thing work, that's a game changer. He's got the physical traits. The mental side is the question. If he can handle the protections and the snapping, he brings more mobility and strength to the middle than they've had in a long time. You also heard Justin Herbert talk about the value of having linemen who can play multiple positions. That versatility matters. Injuries happen, and if Zion can understand the center's role, even if he doesn't start there long term, it makes the whole line better. The floor of this team has risen. That's really the key difference. Look at tight end, look at running back, look at corner. Even if nobody becomes a star, you've got real playable depth now. And when you're building towards something sustainable, Raising the floor is how you start. Now, let's talk about that running back room, because honestly, it might be the most transformed unit on the entire roster. You've got Najee Harris, Omarion Hampton, Rocket Sanders, Kamani Vidal, Hassan Haskins, and not just bodies. These guys are drawing praise. Harbaugh says Najee and Omarion are like two peas in a pod. Roman's impressed with how fast Najee picked up the system. Omarion's getting called the total package, and he's making the kinds of plays that stick in your mind even without pads. That's what Roman needs. He's not calling this a spread-it-out offense. He's building a bully, and for once, he's got the backs to match that identity. Last year, the Chargers had no punch in the backfield. This year, they've got thunder and more thunder. Even Junior Colson got mentioned. He's getting healthier, slowly ramping up after last year's injury. That could be a sneaky piece for this linebacker unit. Now shifting over to the defense, you've got Derwin James back in that versatile role. He's the tone setter. Harbaugh's praising him. Minter's deploying him all over. You heard it. They want 2018 Derwin back. And so far, that's what it looks like. You've got Tarheeb still in the slot. Cam Hart outside. Dante Jackson working with the starters. Tony Jefferson and Alohi Gilman rotating at safety. It's starting to take shape. Hart just got back on the field after missing OTAs, and he's already running with the ones. Still looks like a steal. And Benjamin St-Juste is in that second-team group, but still in the mix. Jesse Minter wants zone-heavy corners. That's what Jackson and St-Juste bring. And with Derwin roaming and helping set the tone, you can afford to mix and match on the back end. You've got Elijah Molden back, Josser Taylor, Dean Leonard, Nico Reed. This room has real competition now. And we haven't even mentioned the defensive line. You've got Tuli Tuipulotu being praised by Khalil Mack as a guy who can get 10 to 12 sacks this year. That's big. You've got Dashawn Hand running with the starters. You've got Poona Ford, Jamari Caldwell. It looks deeper. That's where this team feels different. It's not just top-heavy. It's not built on fragile stars anymore. It's got real layers. It's younger, it's cheaper, it's tougher. And let's not forget, the Chargers still have cap space. If they want to bring in a veteran before the season, at wide receiver, edge, wherever, they can. They've got flexibility. That's not something we could have said a year ago. As we move toward training camp, there are still questions. The Slater extension will get done. He's not worried, and neither should you be. The center battle is still open, but we'll know more in the first 10 days of camp. The wide receiver rotation will shake out once the pads come on. Running backs, we'll see who rises once real contact starts. But the big picture? This roster finally feels like it's been built with purpose. It's not a patch job. It's not a fantasy football roster. It's a real team. And if they stay healthy, if they buy into what Harbaugh is selling, they can make noise. Maybe not in January just yet, but they can start swinging right now. And after what we've seen over the past few years, that alone is progress.